Okay, so the reason why I am doing this particular video tonight is because something kind of, um, I don't want to say strange happened to me, just something kind of odd dawned on me about a lot of stuff that's going on right now. Um, Interestingly enough, I was finally working on my new video that I'm going to have out. Was working on it for the past couple of hours, just gathering some information, gathering some research. And a lot of it is based off of, Donald Glover, Childish Gambino. And I was watching the video for This Is America. I've watched it several times actually, but I was watching it tonight. I just like to kind of go through it because there's a lot of interesting things in it that I wanted to reference, just in general. So I always watch it, but I was watching it tonight, and there's a part where Donald is kind of like flexing his well Donald, I guess I'll call him Childish Gambino since that's what he's going by in the music video. So he's kind of flexing his muscle, flexing his arms, um, and on his arms, you see on his arm, where his muscle is, you'll see a quote. There's actually two quotes, two tattoos. Um, and one says, "Truth is power," and the other says, "Truth is a power." And the second tattoo says, "Love is a passion." And I never noticed this before. Apparently, he has had "Truth is a power" on his arm for a very long time. It's a tattoo that he's had. And from what I understand, "Love is a Passion" was actually debuted in the This Is America video. So I never noticed these tattoos before. I couldn't really tell what it said. I just know I saw these two work, like, I saw on his arm like two sentences, and I was like, "What is this?" So I kind of paused it and then like went and looked up the information, and I found out what it was. So when I saw this, "Truth is a power, love is a passion," it really just made me like kind of pause and have this moment, um, about the two phrases, right? And I kind of wanted to talk about that as far as like everything that's going on with Michael right now and everything that's going on just in general, for us believers, us death hoax believers, whatever you want to call us, non believers alike, people who just think Michael was murdered, just people who are just interested in the whole June 25th scenario type thing. Um, truth is a power is a very interesting thing because that is very accurate. No matter how, history shows that there are wars and things that happen because of what people believe. But you can believe whatever you want. You can have whatever belief system you want. You can think whatever you want. But ultimately, truth is a power. And if you have the truth on your side, no matter what happens, um, in the end, that always prevails. No matter how bad it seems, no matter how terrible it is, how much pain you're enduring, how much you're going through. Ultimately, truth is just what it is, and you cannot change the truth. And someone once told me that, you know, truth is a paradox. Someone once told me that truth is a paradox. So, you know, that means that everybody has their own perspective of what truth is. If you and I are standing on the side of a road and we both see a car accident, we're both going to have different perspectives of what happened during that car accident, right? So our truth to us is considered the truth, but ultimately there's only one truth, and that truth is powerful above all, no matter what. And so in hindsight, what I say that to say, this stuff that's going on against Michael right now, these horrible, disgusting, malicious, evil allegations against him that he has already fought and beat and won, that keep coming up, that keep happening. I just really, I do videos and I make videos and I make videos well, and I definitely considered making videos refuting these claims against Michael Jackson and making these videos and showing how these people have lied and showing the intent. I mean, I've seen so many intentions behind why this is being done. And now I will talk about that in a little bit. But you know, I'll talk about that now. I'll let that kind of segue into what I'm saying here. Truth is a power. And these people that do this to Michael, these people who formulate this what you guys need to understand. I know that there's like rage and outrage and horrible feelings towards Wade Robson and horrible feelings towards James Safechuck and horrible feelings towards these people who make these allegations. I get it. Like, it hurts me to the core to see these horrible and malicious things being said about Michael. Um, I get it. I get the anger. I get the outrage. But you guys have to understand something. Like, these things happen as a distraction. This isn't a tinfoil conversation, tinfoil hat conversation. This is a very real conversation. These things happen for a reason. These distractions happen for a reason. It's not about, of course, it's about money. It's about, you know, a money grab. But that's so on the surface to what this is really about. It's ultimately a distraction. And people need to get far. People need to have Michael be as soiled as possible because Michael knew ultimate truth. And that truth was a power. It was a power that ruined his life because he knew it. Because he was supposed to be used. Michael Jackson was ultimately supposed to be used for bad. And he was I know people will get angry about this, they'll get mad. I am not trying to dismiss Michael's career, the good things that he did. I'm not trying to he worked hard for what he had, and his talent is something that no one can take from him. So I'm not saying that he wasn't talented. I'm not saying that he didn't work. What I'm saying is Michael was groomed from the age of a very, very small child to have a persona, to have an image. And he was groomed. He was groomed to be this person. And he was very much controlled by being groomed. And there was a mission. There was a mission to make him identifiable by everybody. Because if you do that to somebody, if you have ultimate control over somebody, then you control the masses. And it's just a fact. If you listen to like Santa Claus is Coming to Town when Michael was a little boy, and uh he obviously didn't write the the song, but in the song he talks about all the things that his brothers are going to get and what all his brothers want for Christmas. I believe it's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And he's talking about all the things that they want, all the things that they're going to get. And then there's this part where it gets to Michael, and Michael says, Michael just wants peace and love on earth. That's all he wants for Christmas. And when I hear this now, I think he's like 11 in the song. And I hear this sound, I'm like, oh my God, they've been grooming this image since he was a little boy. I'm not saying that Michael doesn't want peace and love and harmony. I'm not saying that because I think ultimately that is his purpose. What I'm saying is it's grooming. So this image has always been there for people to like have this image of him. So when he starts asking questions, when they don't expect this guy to be a genius and to think about things, he's just a money machine, and he can just dance, and he's a dancing machine. He's this incredible person. They don't expect him to be a person that's intelligent enough to ask questions, to wonder about things, to think about things, to question things. And when that happens, he becomes no good. But see, he's already been affiliated with politicians, and he's already been affiliated with so many things. Um, that it's fear. It's fear because he knows truth is power. And if Michael knows the truth about so many fucking people and so many corrupt things in Hollywood, and Michael like hung out and spent time with like politicians and kings and queens and God, he was on the phone with Princess Diana for hours. What the hell do you think she was telling him? This might sound really crazy, but you guys have to do your homework and really understand that if Michael is privy to all this information, this makes him a threat. This makes him um dangerous. And in what is the only thing that they can do to Michael Jackson, the only thing they can do to him to sully that, to make him to make people shy away from the truth is to say he's a pedophile because nobody wants to deal with somebody that hurt children. Nobody wants to believe someone that hurt a child. So ultimately, they're going to do what they can. I'm saying all this to say, guys, that this is so deep. People are saying, "Oh, this is about money. It's a money grab." Please don't be fooled into believing that this is seriously about money. This goes um, so much more. It's just so deep. It's so there's so much depth to like the truth behind all of this. And like the truth is powerful. This is very little to do with Wade getting money, getting a payoff. That's nothing. That's nothing compared to the ultimate truth of what's really going on here and why Michael has been shut down because I mean, it all aligns. The moment Michael started talking about things during the Dangerous album, Leave Me Alone was just like, or not Leave Me Alone, but Bad was just like, okay, him saying, I kind of went out. I'm kind of over this. But then when you take that and you start talking about, like we Dangerous, when he starts talking about, I don't really want to get into it on here, but when he starts talking about certain things, this is when you start having these allegations against him. This is so much deeper than fucking money, guys. It ultimately it's money because if people know the truth about the industry, that it takes money from the people who need the money or who want the money, the greed. So I get it. But this Wade Robson thing is to silence the truth. This Me Too movement, this whole I have a very strong opinion on the Harvey Weinstein thing. I have a very strong opinion on that. I have a problem with someone who like rapes people, who has sex with women when they say no. I have a problem with that. But I don't people who have sex with people to get careers and to get ahead and make that conscious decision to do that. Uh, You know, but see, Hollywood, they need the distractions. You can't shut down their operation. So these things are always very intentional, you know. So there you have to ask yourself, this kind of segues into this. You have to ask yourself, what is the ultimate thing that Michael knows that is so big, that's so huge that people have to consistently work to shut him up, to shut him down? What truthful power does he have? What does he know? That's what you have to ask yourselves. The other thing that Glover has tattooed on his arm is love is a passion. And that to me is a very beautiful statement. I know when I listen to the song Give In to Me, I always like love the line when Michael says love is a feeling. And it's like, I don't know, because I really thought about that. Like, I thought about the meaning, the depth of that sentence, like, love is a feeling, and that to me is so beautiful because people use the word love so much. They say it. They say, "I love you. I love you," or I love Michael. I love this. I love that." It's just a word that comes out of their mouth, but love is not a word. It's not just something that you just say. It's a feeling. It's an action. It's a passion. You know what I mean? So, um, uh, um, so like I get it. Like I understand ultimately that this is just it's deeper. When Donald Glover says love is a passion, he has that tattoo. It's true. It's a passion. It's something that it's a passion. Is something that you need, that you fight for, no matter what. And Donald Glover, um, last night at the Grammys, I didn't watch the Grammys, but I heard about. I know he won two categories. I believe that he won. I'm not really sure. I think he won, like, Album of the Year and Song of the Year. I don't know if he won Album of the I'm not entirely sure, exactly what he maybe someone in the chat can correct me. But he did win I think he did win, like, Song of the Year for This Is America, and I think he did win Album of the Year for This Is America. So I think he won both. And that's incredible. That is a huge, like, accomplishment. Donald Glover didn't even show up to the Grammys. And this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about too. Donald Glover did not show up. He declined performing because they wanted him to be like a main headliner, have a big show. He declined performing and then he didn't show up. And he won these two very prestigious big cat I mean it was like the big four, two of the big four. So he won two of the big four categories. He won, which is incredible. That's a huge accomplishment. He didn't show up. And it makes you think, it's like, wow, he showed up for the Emmys, right? He showed up for the Emmy Awards. And there was all this controversy behind or not Michael Jackson, Teddy Perkins being there. And he's taking all these pictures and he's front and center, and there's all this controversy around it. But then Donald doesn't show up to the Grammys, which Childish Gambino is a huge artist. He just didn't show up. He had every chance of winning and he just did not show up. And he won these two, like, This Is America is and it's interesting. It's very interesting that the contrast in him versus Michael. Michael's winning all these Grammys and winning all these things, and he was around the same age, and he was just so excited and so happy to be this artist that was doing things on his own and so big. And you flash forward not even 20 years later, 25 years later, and you have this young black male who is doing amazing things, and he broke a record last time because rappers don't win Album of the Year, and he did Song of the Year, and he did, but he didn't show up because This Is America. You guys have to understand, people are just going completely crazy about this. I'm not slighting anyone. I'm not saying that people should not be concerned, that they should not care. I love the advocacy. I love what people are trying to do, and I love the attention, and I love that people are trying to stop these documentaries from airing. I think that is incredible. I think that's amazing. I think people should fight the good fight for Michael. But you guys have to be very careful sharing these stories and posting all don't I was guilty of it myself when it first happened, posting all these stories. And stop posting these stories. Stop sharing these stories. Stop posting this stuff. Stop giving power to lies. Give power to truth. If you're going to share things on Michael Jackson, share truthful things about him. Stop giving power to lies. Stop sharing these articles. Stop sharing these stories. Stop posting this bullshit all over social media and letting the cancer grow. Michael, there's other stuff going on that people need to focus on. We know what Michael did not do. Getting angry in comments and on blogs and fighting with people, it's completely pointless because people are going to think what they want to think. They are going to believe what they want to believe. Let them be the majority. Let them think these things because ultimately there is power in truth. And one thing you can never hide is that it always comes out. Do not get distracted. Do not get caught up in this crap. Stay focused on the purpose, stay focused on the truth. You have to ask yourself why Michael did what he did in the first place? What would make a man who has so much success and so much to stay, so much to live for, what would make him do what he did? What would make him just leave and leave his children at that? What would make him do something like that? You know what's really interesting? I've been doing a lot of reading on propofol and like the effect. And it's like, you know, you really have to get intubated when you have it. You literally have to have an airway cleared for yourself and get intubated when you have propofol. They want us to believe he was being pushed propofol constantly all night, and he was just, there's so many things. I don't even want to get into all that right now, but I'm saying this to say you guys have to stop getting distracted by these things that people come up with. If you're going to sign the petition, sign the petition. If you're going to advocate for Michael, do that. But do not take your eyes off of the truth. Don't take your mind off of, don't just say like you love Michael. Loving somebody is a passion. People say, I have a passion for music. I have a passion for reading. I have a passion for advocacy. I have a passion. So when you have a passion for something, you want to understand it. You study it. You want to be the best at it. You want to be the best at knowing about it. That being the case, if you have a passion for Michael, then don't have a passion for the garbage written about him. Have a passion for understanding the truth about him and what he was trying to protect. Because the information's out there. You don't need someone on YouTube to do videos telling you the truth about Michael Jackson and what he was trying to get away from. You don't need that. It's all there. It's in a lot of his music. It's in interviews, and it's in things that he's written down, and it's in, you know, lyrics. It's in so many things, the truth about him. I don't have some huge thing to say about this Wade Robson James Save Chuck documentary. I really don't. I don't have anything to offer about it. I don't think it's gonna be stopped. I think it's gonna air, but instead of just getting angry and just going after these people who were going to air it anyway, I'm not saying don't care. What I'm saying is start putting out the truth about him now. Start talking about Michael Jackson. I'm not talking about just sharing his videos, him dancing, or just talking about his music. Talk about him, what he did, the good things. Start pushing that stuff now. I see 100 people sharing these disgusting articles about Michael, but where is all that energy about sharing the good things about him? Where is all that energy at? It's you guys. There's nothing you can do to stop what's gonna be. But when people go and when this documentary airs and there are these crazy stories about Michael, when people go and Google his name, do your YouTube videos about him, the truth about him. So when they Google, Michael Jackson and Wade Robson, make sure your hashtags are Michael Jackson and Wade Robson so that your videos pop up with the truth about Michael. The truth. Be proactive. Be proactive. Don't waste your time on things that you can't change. Truth is a power, love is a passion. Thank you guys so much for listening to me and hearing me and talking to me. And thanks, hi to all my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed to my channel, then hit the subscribe button and wait for my next video because it is coming and it's very interesting. I love talking to you guys. Love having this dialogue with you. It's very important to me. So I will have a new video up soon and I cannot wait for you to see it. All right, so have a good night. I love you guys. Good night.